These cables that go down through the wall and up to these speakers, they're too short. Damn it! You know, it's actually amazing how fast your office, your area can just get messy again. Just a couple days ago, I put out this whole awesome video of pretty much tearing down the whole thing, making some changes, and cleaning up the whole office. And it's officially a wreck already. It's done for. I have so many little things like that I still gotta install. For example, I still have holes behind the speaker where the cables are going, and to be fairly honest, I thought this was gonna be a lot easier process, hence why I ran the speaker cables in the first place, but turns out it's not gonna be that easy. So these are Echo Gear hubs, ports, recess ports. The cables, hey, stop. The cables for the speaker will go through here. This will go through the back end of the wall, but in order to be able to put this into the wall, I gotta use this bit to bore out a hole for it. So I don't know if any of you guys are good with math or science or anything, but cables are already ran. Insanely annoying to run through the back of the wall with insulation. And now I have to take this on the top and bottom and cut the hole so that these can fit. I might just have to try to use my drywall knife and do it to the best of my ability, because I'm not taking those cables out to put these in. It's that's the thing about this setup, and I think that's the thing that I want to change about all setups, is that little like half-ass settling. You know what I'm talking about. We all do it. Like right now, you guys don't even see the little tiny holes in the drywall that don't really create a problem, because it creates this floating speaker, so it's not that big of a deal. But my OCD in the background knows that those holes are there, and it's something that makes the setup imperfect. Now, I know this setup's not gonna be perfect for everybody. It's probably not even gonna ever be perfect for me, but getting something like this is going to help at least bring the production value of the setup into a whole new world. It's like looking around this room and seeing just the littlest spots where some of the black paint did go over the white trim or the white ceilings. And my whole objective with this setup and just my journey moving forward is not letting that stuff go. Taking care of those little imperfections that people typically wouldn't worry about. And I feel like it's also helping me build a character to the core, you know, being that discipline. Like the littlest things, you guys aren't gonna notice the trim and little paint splatters around the room, but I do. I know they're there. So I'm gonna be the type of person that takes care of the holes, that takes care of the paint. We're gonna do this together. Yes. By the way, before we dive into fixing some things today, I've heard some people's concerns on my individual single ultra wide setup. I know that everybody has developed this habit in 2020 of needing 15 monitors, and I get that and I understand that. I know why it is addicting for you to want to have that many monitors, and I might still end up putting one more monitor here, going like a dual ultra wide route sometime down the line. But for now, I enjoy this. If you guys would like an actual video on me explaining why I went down to one monitor versus having 4 monitors previously, if this video hits 100 thumbs up, I will sit down, record that, let you guys know what monitors I use and why I did downgrade to 1. But anyways, for today, we have some objectives. Like I mentioned, we are moving closer and closer to being done with this, just fine-tuning some stuff. And honestly, from here on out, it's just little things. So today we also have to make some little minor changes as well. Roll with some new punches. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, these stinking cables are too short. It really sucks. Like that's the big thing that happens in this little like series and me making this move and these changes is always the littlest things throw you a curveball. But into today's changes. Yesterday, I did get the DBX mounted underneath the desk. I ordered a like a server mount. Big shout out to Brian at Bad C Tech for giving me the suggestion for this. But as you see, nice clean mount underneath. Now I'm supposed to have this PreSonus audio box that's sitting on the desk mounted underneath here. But due to the cables not being long enough to run down and up into the speaker, it pulls the cables out. Now I can move the desk close enough to the wall where they will barely like plug in and they will hold there. But these are the type of things that I'm talking about. When I move the desk closer to the wall, you can see the actual bands of light, which by the way, I do want to point out, if you guys are going to go with an actual wooden desk, you might want to cover it in some kind of clear coat, something that will make it a little bit more sticky. Like this is actual wood to the touch. It's just oiled, so that's why it's getting, you know, some splashes and some of that like tarnished look, which I like. Some people aren't for that, but it makes it really hard for stuff to stick to it. Like this LED strip keeps coming unstuck from the back of the wood. But like I was saying, the desk too close to the wall, you can actually see the individual lights. I know for some people that may not be annoying, but like when you go just a few inches away, like you can already see how it just starts becoming more of a line versus the aggressive, like actually seeing the lights across the board. And I want to change that. And plus I want the desk further away from the wall anyways. Like I like that look. In my head, I'm imagining this setup seeming like it's placed under this accessory usage of speakers and monitors on the wall. But for today, we are gonna have to figure out something to do with this box so that way we can mount it underneath the desk to keep a clean real estate on top of the desk, but to where it will be good for the cables as well. Also, I gotta get this thing underneath the desk mounted somehow too, because that's it's just hideous there. It does not belong there, and I think you guys could clearly agree with me on that one. So let's get this box sorted out. Let's get the desk a little bit away from the wall and see what we're working with here. So let me tell you why this stuff is so addicting. Okay, so I'm moving some of this stuff down to figure out how I'm going to mount this up here. And then I just decide, okay, well, why don't I just take down the power rack, put it in the center. And then I started thinking, well, why don't I just move this and that? And then I just end up doing everything now. So what I'm doing is I'm actually just kind of stripping down again, taking a lot of these cables out of the way, organizing them off to the side in their correct areas. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut the holes. We are going to reroute this to be in the center up here, which means we have to remount these power supplies to go underneath the desk in different areas. But when we do that, I should be able to mount this just directly underneath the desk, not have to get any extensions. I should be able to have the desk away from the wall the way I like, and then we'll have power outlets on both sides underneath the desk, and everything should be a-okay. Wish me luck, please and thank you. All right, look at how clean that looks. I still have some dust around the edges that I gotta clean up, but I mean, this adds for such a better aesthetic. Like, I know the holes weren't really sticking out, but still, this looks good, doesn't it? A big update. So both ports on each side are ran. That's looking great. And now I have two big hecking power supplies ran on each side. I wanted to split up two power supplies underneath here so I wasn't having to kind of stretch big power cables across the whole desk. Have the obnoxious security box mounted as well. Now we just need to clean up some of this, clean up some of the wall, move everything back and organize a little bit. All right, the moment of truth. When everything is done and hooked up, trying to make sure that you plug everything in correctly and turn it on. This monitor has been making me extremely nervous because when I first brought it up here, it actually just didn't turn on for whatever reason. All right, so we got computer going, and we have monitor going. No display port connected. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, there we go. Let's get an audio test. Okay, audio is good. Now we just clean all this up and see how it looks. Oh, another big day in the office setup. I was actually throwing some things together underneath the desk, and I'm like, man, I could almost just go ahead and start actually managing the cables. I mean, I did it to the point where like everything is tucked and hidden, but nothing's actually organized. At a certain point, I want to Velcro strap everything, so that way if like something happens, I know to like, okay, gotta grab this cable. But nonetheless, it's come together quite a bit. I'm really happy about it. As mentioned before, if this video hits 100 likes today, I'm gonna go ahead and do a full video on like the one monitor setup, my thoughts behind it, how I manage it with Twitch streaming. I eventually wanna do an entire video of how I actually get a stream ready for myself with a clean aesthetic setup like this. Obviously, you guys see there's no camera mount, there's no cables ran for that stuff. So I thought it'd be pretty cool if I did an entire video explaining why and what process I take to get a stream ready. But if we hit 100 likes on this video, which you guys have been killing it lately, I'm gonna explain the whole monitor situation, what I use for stuff. We still have a long way to go. Believe it or not, it may look like we're like pretty much done with everything. At least I can get to the point where I can finally start like flexing it, I guess, and putting it in some content, sharing it in social media, getting a lot of photography going on with it, use it for product shots with other collaborations and companies. It's at least enough for that right now. But again, like I mentioned before, I don't want to completely write everything off and like be done with it right away, because I actually want to test the waters on some stuff for the setup just in case. Like I don't want to freaking route all these cables and cable manage everything, and then next thing you know, a new monitor come out and I'm like, okay, that's the one. I'm gonna give it some time, give it a few weeks to get settled in. I wanna get the rest of the room going too. Promise, there will be a 2020 setup tour without a doubt. And I will do more videos on other budget setups that I got going on around the rooms. But if you guys don't mind, for today, I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. Did a lot of work today, brought you guys along for the ride, gave you some more sneak peeks of how this thing's gonna look. But now that I got it together, I gotta go play some games to end off the evening, right? Guys, gals, even if we don't hit 100 likes on today's video, we got plenty of content to come. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, I highly advise you to do so. The support has been absolutely unreal lately. I feel like we're actually making a lot of progress, moving in a direction, building some crazy community here around all this stuff, around these things that I enjoy, that you guys and gals enjoy as well. Lots of videos, ideas, potential collaborations maybe coming soon. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, likes, comments, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Ladies and gents, that's all I got for you guys today. I'm out. Tues, peace.